So after figuring that out, I went to meet up with some American comedians who are here on tour for Comedy for Koby to hear what they think about Israel.
I know here, there is no jury duty in Israel because the mere thought of 12 Jews coming to a single conclusion.
I'm sitting here with Avi Liberman. You are the founder of Comedy for Koby. Tell us a little bit about that.
We raise money for the Koby Mandel Foundation by bringing a group of comedians here twice a year, and all the money from the gate goes to the foundation.
And what is the foundation for?
They work with children who've been victims of tragedy. Named after Koby Mandel, he and his friend Yosef Sharon, a little over 10 years ago, they were killed by Arab terrorists just outside of Tekoa. So the parents, Seth and Sherry, started this foundation to help other kids and families who have been through similar tragedies.
So who'd you bring this time?
This time I have Kermet Apio. Hilarious, is demolished post shows. Erin Jackson also crushed it, and Bob Zany. Bob is the only returning comedian. So.
Well, good luck for you tonight.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna need it.
No, you won't.
Has anyone ever walked into someone's home? You know what I really enjoy right now? Do you have a flat, tasteless cracker that'll constipate me for about 14, 15 hours?
It's amazing how far we've come in technology. That's when you know you're old and you have to tell a kid, well, if you wanted to talk to somebody, you had to stand near the wall. Rich kids had the long cord, they could get from the fridge and
Kermet, you are here for the first time in Israel, a comedian. What is it like for you?
It's been wonderful. When I first got here to the hotel, the first thing I see are surfers outside my window. And I grew up in Hawaii, and I never knew, I mean, I feel kind of silly to say that, but I never knew you had surfers. And it really just, all of a sudden I'm connected, and I just got here.
Well, that's what I'm curious about. When you think about Israel, what do you think about before you came here?
Yeah, I feel like an idiot even answering. Well, because we know what we see, right? And
what do you see? Tell me.
What's on the news? But the news isn't going to go, hey, there's a nice beach with people surfing.
When you're with your audiences here in Israel, what is it like for you as a comedian?
It's amazing, because if you think you're going to go across the world and talk about your little life, who's going to relate to that? And people do. And they're not all Americans in the audience, and they're laughing, and they're coming up afterwards and saying what a nice time they had. It's incredible. The other thing I love is that they're so appreciative that we're here, which is a surprise to me because I'm excited to be here. Really, with all the things going on, I had a lot of comedian friends who have done this tour and who were nice enough to recommend me, but were also wonderful in telling me their whole experience. And when you hear those stories, as soon as I got invited, I was in, because they all said, look, it's all about living your life. It's all about, and that's the whole thing about this show. It's about comedy and laughter and everybody getting together and having a good time and enjoying. And if that's not what comedy should be about, then why do I do it, right?
So I live with my parents, which was trouble. I learned a lot about them living with them. I don't know how many of you guys have ever lived with old black people. I'm guessing maybe not a lot.
Erin Jackson, you are here in Israel. Yeah. What is it like performing in Israel?
Yeah. Performing in Israel is like performing anywhere else. I mean, people,
really?
Yeah, people laugh at the jokes. People were asking me, like, before I came, what are you going to talk about? I'm like, I'm kind of going to talk about the same things I talk about. People in Israel have mothers and fathers, right? And cousins and dumb friends. Cool. Then that's what I'm going to talk about. I think those things are universal. It's really cool to do things like this. I mean, I do a lot of travel with my job, but often I'm just traveling around the United States. And I've seen all the states, but I never get to go anywhere super interesting or exotic or just like historic. So this is like a great trip to be a part of, and I'm so excited to be here.
We are so excited to have you, and we look forward to
Thanks, Molly.
I'm excited to be here. I have to say something. The first night of the tour, there's been some complaints about my material, so what I've done, I want to assure the whole audience and the promoters, of course, I've gotten rid of all the off-color jokes, the insensitive jokes, and the jokes that were just, a little racy. So I want to thank you. You've been fantastic.